Hey guys, it's me, Jennie B, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo. Last time we left off, we had lunch. That's right, we had lunch. Emmy made us a fabulous lunch. It was so yummy. We sat on the roof with her and Ren, and we had quite a bit of a little chat. And then I think now it's Saturday class. I think we're almost to the festival. Super excited to see what that entails. So let's get started. The students roll into class for the Saturday morning session, each and every one of them supporting the tired eyes of people who've worked through the night. With only a day left to prepare, I suppose it's not so surprising. Thankfully, we only have to suffer through the classes until lunch break, then our time is our own. Mutuo lurches into the classroom in a tired stagger. I suppose students aren't the only people that enjoy their late Friday nights. Without saying a word, he scrawls some page and question numbers on the board and slumps down at his desk. It's completely a typical behavior for him, but it appears that no one in the class is going to call him out on it. Wordlessly, the students shuffle their textbooks into position and get to work. Not wanting to break the trend, I do the same. Fatigue has made the class antisocial. Not a peep is heard among the ruffling papers. That can partly be attributed to the two empty seats beside me. For some reason, Misha and Shizun aren't present, probably doing council work for the festival. It's very quiet without Misha present. I wonder if she was born as rowdy as she is, if she's making up for Shizun's lack of voice. Nakai, can I speak to you for a moment? I'm so engrossed in thinking about Misha that I don't even notice Mutao is approaching my desk. Sure. What's this about? It's probably better if we speak outside the classroom. Oh my goodness. Something about this doesn't sound too good, but I stand up and follow him out onto the hallway. Mutao stands in the hallway scratching his head as he works out what he's trying to say. Not knowing what's going on, I wait silently. I heard this from the school's head nurse that you had an incident the other day. Ah, so it's about that. Well, kind of, but it's not anything to be worried about. Yes it is. Anything that can endanger your health is something to be worried about. We try our best here to prepare you for life here. Part of that involves knowing your limits and how to work around them. It would be remiss of me if I didn't speak up about this. Alright, I get it. I'm sorry. Mutao closes his eyes in frustration, and I realize this probably wasn't the best thing to say. Something tells me you're not sorry. Pretend as much as you want, but this isn't a normal school. A lot of people put a lot of time and effort and money to make sure that you and every other student here can have the same level of education as your peers. For you to abuse that by throwing out advice, especially medical advice, is plain selfish. I'm not quite sure if this actually is how he feels, or if it's some act that he's practiced many times to guilt-trip students into doing the right thing. Either way, it's working. I understand. This is all new to me, and I apologize. I know my limits now, and I'll be sticking to them. Mutao appears to lighten up a little, satisfied that his message has been received. So then, on to my next question. How are you finding your studies? I understand that you were laid up for a while. We're not too far ahead, are we? I don't really think so. I tried to keep up when I was in the hospital, so it hasn't been too hard. Mutao taps his chin and raises an eyebrow as he absorbs this information. Is that so? I suppose there are still students out there who realize the importance of learning. I wouldn't go that far. I was only trying to keep myself occupied in my little life support prison. Yeah, well, you gotta keep up with these things, right? That's exactly it. One wrong move in this world and you're left behind, right? Right. Wouldn't want that to happen. No, you wouldn't. Every week there's a new scientific discovery. Most of them mean nothing to the layperson, but any one of them could be the key to the next big thing. I'll keep that in mind. It's obvious that Mutao's serious talk is over and he's gone back to his standard, slightly scatterbrained approach to life. I think in hindsight that I prefer him this way. He's slightly more predictable in his unpredictability. Well then, I think that's all I really had to say. Let's go back inside, shall we? My relief of that suggestion is insurmountable. Sure, you're the boss, right? Mutao pauses for a moment. I don't think any of my students have ever said that to me before. For an instant I consider replying to this, but something deep within me tells me to shut my mouth and get back in the classroom. A few of the students jump at the sound of the door, rapidly trying to pretend that they're working on the questions on the board. Some don't even bother, their heads slumped on the desk as I nap. Thankfully, it would appear that Mutao doesn't even notice them. He returns to his desk and retrieves a scientific journal from one of the drawers. I guess I got to him there. The class returns to the near silence that Mutao and I left it before our chat. Mixed feelings of tiredness and anticipation buzz around the room. Everyone here is either waiting for a chance to rest or the chance to get their last-minute preparations underway. That kind of scared me for a moment. The clock on the wall slowly ticks the remaining class time away until finally the bells cry out, ending the torment. Before you all leave, I expect those answers for those problems by Monday. Monday! The class sighs as one, instantly regretting slacking off, but still acutely aware of the more pressing issues at hand. The classroom empties in the blink as everyone rushes to the last-minute festival preparations. I stay behind and try to quickly finish the questions so I don't have to bother with it over the rest of the weekend with the festival and all tomorrow. Hanako. Apart from me, Hanako's the only one left, obviously waiting for Lily. It's weird that Lily comes all the way to our classroom to pick her up. I expect that moving around is at least normally harder for her than it is for Hanako. But it's none of my business, and I naturally don't ask about it from Hanako. Despite the relative proximity of her seats, neither tries to strike up a conversation about that or anything else either, so an oppressive silence falls upon the classroom. Time passes in silence. It's probably just 15 minutes or so, but it feels longer. I turn the pages of my notebook. Hanako turns the pages of the novel she's reading. My pencil lead splinters against the paper just as I'm about to finish the paragraph. The sound of my irritated sigh and subsequent fumbling around for the sharpener feel like they're breaking the mood in the classroom. Hanako keeps her eyes firmly away from my direction. Before long, Lily's tall figure appears in the doorway. Hanako? Her name is all it takes to make Hanako jump from her desk and run to Lily. They talk quietly for a moment, but isn't long before Lily leaves down the hall and Hanako idles back into the classroom, taking her seat once again. I watch Hanako out of the corner of my eye out of sheer curiosity at the idea that the two would be separated. For a couple of minutes, she does nothing, but with her chin in her hand, staring at the desk dejectedly. The boredom evidently becomes too strong for her, though, her slender frame reaching into her bag and pulling out a small book. Come to think of it, that isn't the one I saw her reading in the library. She must be quite a fast reader to get through them at this rate. After about 10 minutes of restlessly shuffling in her seat and trying to read, Hanako closes her book and leaves too. As should I, since the assessment is all but finished and there's nothing else to do in the classroom. Not that I have anything to do anywhere else either. The school is a beehive of activity, but nobody pays me any heed. I saunter past classrooms, filled with students frantically doing this and that, buzzing around like little worker bees. Wouldn't guess the school day is over. It's a bit quieter outside, but not by much. People zip by left and right hurriedly as quickly as they can, busy and energetic. I feel the opposite. The midday sun seems to be draining all the spirit out of my body and making it feel limp all over. Soft, warm air flows inside my shirt like a cushion. I yawn lazily, thinking about what I do. I drop off my books in the dorms first, and then something I haven't decided yet. Maybe Kenji's in this room. Why would you want to know where Kenji is? We don't want to hang out with him. On the way to the dorms, I spot Emmy coming my way, despite not having those weird running prosthetics on. I wave at her, and she gets to stop. Yo, Hisao! Spatters of white and green paint adorn her nose and chin respectively, but her smile is wide as it always is. She leans closer to me. You have no paint on your face, amplifying the feeling that she's examining me. What you doing? Nothing, really. I don't have anything to do for the festival, and everyone seems to be doing something important. That's perfect! Then you can help me and Ren! With the festival preparations? I'm not sure if I would be much of help. That's fine! I'm not doing much help either! Emmy grabs my wrist and starts dragging me back inside the school quite forcefully. Even her walking speed is more like jogging, making me stumble over myself simply trying to keep up. The stairs slowing me down a little bit. Maybe it's hard to climb with legs, or maybe she's finally run out of breath. We go all the way back to the 3rd floor, into the seniors' hallway, ending up where I left 5 minutes ago. I could have all just stayed here waiting for Emmy had I known. So, is Rin working on that mural still? That's right, she needs all kinds of paints and brushes and stuff, so when I went to go get them from the art classroom. And you need me to do that? Well, Rin told me you'd already helped her, so I thought you wouldn't mind. I see. So thanks to Emmy's flaky logic, here I am again, collecting stuff from the art classroom for other people. The room is empty apart from ourselves and lonely specks of dust floating in the air. Emmy skips straight away to the back wall, digging out a tiny crumpled piece of paper from her pocket. While she tries to make sense of the scrawled handwriting, I take a closer look at the materials lying around here. Dozens of paint cans and bottles are arranged on the shelves in the most organized fashion. Some look like they haven't been left there for several decades, relics of previous art club generations. Next to the heavy stacks of neatly piled drawing paper are boxes full of different sized brushes and assorted crayons. The smell of paint, turpentine, and fresh paper filled the stale air, mixing my nostrils to form an unmistakable scent of art. Emmy studies her notes, comparing them to the markings on the various paints and cans, and passes them to me to see, as if she finds the correct matches. As she finds the correct matches, she stretches her neck to look on the topmost shelf. That's not quite enough. Her eye level stays below the shelf what she does, no matter what she does. Emmy gives up and just looks up at the shelf longing like a child in the toy store, huffing in annoyance. After a moment of building anger, she starts to jump up and down, apparently trying to speed read the labels during the fraction of a second she can read them and catch what she can. It's no surprise that she fails miserably and almost manages to bring the entire shelf crashing down. Now I see why me lending a hand would be useful. Come on, let me do that. You can't jump high enough, and I don't want you to hurt yourself trying. Also, I'm like twice your height. You are not. She turns around, flaring scorn, flushed cheeks and all. Just kidding, just kidding. Anyway, I'll look up there, okay? She glares at me one more time, but can't come up with a retort. With a judgingly, She turns her back to me. So I begin scrounging around the top shelf for paint, while below Emmy crouches to scavenge what she can from the cupboards. I shake my head a little after double-checking to ensure she can't see me do so. Emmy having a complex about her height was a surprise. I wouldn't have joked about it otherwise. She seems easygoing, but I guess everyone has their weak spots. Only after we have almost all the items collected and spread out on the desk like the treasure hunter's spoils do I realize that there wasn't necessarily the height job that got her riled up. She might have not liked to be told she can't do something, like jump. But Emmy herself seems to have forgotten about it all already. Quick to anger, quick to forgive. Is she that type of person? At least she doesn't seem to have taken anything to heart. As she chatters away happily, we pick up the rest of the items and make our way back to Rin. I sheepishly carry the bulk of materials as we make towards the dormitories. Rin is really stressed about getting her painting done. It's her own fault, though. She should have started earlier. Is she going to make it? No idea. It looks good to me, but with Rin, you never know what's going on. I found her this morning lying in front of the dorm in a fetal position. She hasn't slept all night. I can't believe that the nurses haven't found her. And now she's painting again like crazy. Yeah, I've noticed that she comes off kind of unhinged, so to speak. Emmy giggles at that, as well as my likely too obvious awkwardness. I don't mind it. She's just a little weird sometimes. On that, I can agree with her. Unlike me, Emmy seems to be cool with friends. whatever it is that feels so off about her. Still, they don't seem close like Misha or Shizu do. With them working as a single entity sometimes, it's hard to say where one ends and the other begins. Even though they're so different, just like Emmy and Rin are. And Rin is the most different of them all, different from anyone else I've met. Yeah, I guess she's a very unique person. I return to that word again as if it encompasses Rin's personality by itself, but really it's just a substitute for a lengthy description of her oddities. Emmy giggles as I grasp for the properly descriptive word. She's just weird. You know, earlier she spent half an hour sitting on her box and stared at her toes. She giggles again in a way that makes me think she doesn't know what's funny about it. It just is. All that time. The working area is a mess, but the mural itself has taken even more off the wall since I last saw it. The disfigured human figures have been mostly colored in tones of red, pink, orange, weird imaginary things populating the spaces between them. It looks nice. I can't think of any word that describes the work concisely and comprehensively, so I settle myself on a nondescript nice. But honestly, it seems that the area around the wall becomes untidier at the same rate as the mural progresses. The ground is littered with dozens of paint cans, various art supplies, and empty soda bottles. Rin herself is in the center of this chaos, standing there looking very cozy as she was a natural part of the scene. Her pant-legs have been rolled up to her knees, exposing her thin legs to support a drying spectrum of war paint similar to those on Emmy's face. Okay, so I think I'm going to end that here. We didn't get too much done in this episode. We kind of just walked in circles. We walked out of the classroom, walked out, Emmy brought us back up to the classrooms, and then we walked back out. So yeah, that's literally all we did this episode. But I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. As always, the next episode of Katawa Shoujo will be next week, so I hope you guys catch that. And thank you guys so much for checking out this episode of Katawa Shoujo. And I'll catch you guys later.